Hello, and welcome back to MoJo JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the one and only Powerpuff Girls / JoJo's Bizarre Adventure recap and discussion podcast. I'm Raven, my pronouns are they, them.
And I'm Alison, and I answer to she or her.
This week, we're getting back into the show. We're going to be talking about the episodes Sets, Alessi Part 2, and Darby the Gambler Part 1. Before we get into that, just a reminder to leave us a review or a comment, or perhaps even follow or subscribe to the show. We might even read your review on the pod. Yeah, we also have a second show, and that one is called What We Pod in the Shadows. It's a sort of mockumentary sitcom about some vampires and their familiar living on Staten Island, and you might enjoy that if you want to hear about some vampires that are, significantly less evil than Dio. Alright, let's get into Sets Alessi Part 2. This is so awkward as hell. I kind of just picked this one because I thought it was funny to call him Smolneref. So, I could just say it a lot. So, Alessi attacks Polnareff's stand by cutting its wrist with an axe and pinning it to the wall, which also makes Polnareff's wrist bleed. He freaks out because he realizes how weak his stand is, and also that Alessi got in without him noticing. And where's the nice lady? Alessi grabs Smolnereff by the throat and dangles him over the bathtub, intending to drown him. Alessi holds Smolnereff under the water, but with childlike strength he can't hope to overpower Alessi. Smolnereff pulls the plug, intending to drain the tub, but Alessi forces his hair down the drain, blocking it from draining. He's got his big old hair, and it's sort of a cylinder. Alessi gloats about drowning Polnareff when Polnareff poops in the tub. Alessi is so distracted and disgusted by the poop touching his arm that Polnareff is able to get out. Polnareff demands to know where the nice lady is, and Alessi gloats because she didn't notice his stand touching her, and she rescued Thetis, which, she's not a stand user, so of course she didn't notice. Jesus Christ. She's tiny inside of her little dress slip thingy that she stripped down to wash Polnareff. Polnareff uses quick thinking and picks up the dress and runs out of the bathroom with her, but Alessi's stand touches his shadow at least twice on the way out, and Polnareff gets smaller and younger. Polnareff locks himself into a bedroom, but they're trapped in there with Alessi outside the door. Alessi gets in there, but Polnareff is nowhere to be found. At first he sees a barred window and thinks Polnareff must have escaped out of it, then realizes that's just what Polnareff wants him to think. Alessi frantically tears up the room, trying to find Polnareff's hiding place, but neglects to look for him inside of the aquarium. If I could talk. Silver Chariot is hiding inside a red ball atop the water, and when Alessi comes close enough, Chariot pierces him through the nose with his teeny tiny little rapier. Alessi cries out in pain, and Polnareff pops out of the aquarium, also hiding in a ball. He apparently used a mirror for camouflage. I'm not sure that's how mirrors work, but it's a cartoon. He mocks Alessi for being outsmarted by a toddler and says he'll keep attacking him until he turns him and the lady back into adults. Alessi actually seems scared of Smolnereff and books it out of there and jumps out a window where he lands right in front of Jotaro. Alessi realizes Jotaro is looking for adult Polnareff and doesn't know what Alessi looks like, and decides to use this to his advantage by playing dumb and catching Jotaro off guard long enough to attack him. Jotaro seems weirded out that he fell out a window, and even more weirded out when he sees a tiny, naked Polnareff peering out of a window. Polnareff tries to warn Jotaro, but still can't remember his name. This, alas, distracts Jotaro long enough that Alessi sticks his stand on him, turning Jotaro into a child, too. Alessi gloats because he knows Jotaro only developed a stand recently, and as a 7-year-old wouldn't have one. Alessi goes to strike Jotaro with his axe, but Jotaro is still strong enough to punch him in the nose. Jotaro basically goes Star Platinum on Alessi, minus the stand's actual powers, and punches him swiftly and relentlessly until Alessi falls to the ground. Alessi freaks out because he didn't realize Jotaro could still beat his ass as a kid. He is dazed long enough to lose control over his stand, and Jotaro and Polnareff are restored to their current ages and heights. Now that they both have their stands at full power, Polnareff and Jotaro pummel Alessi so hard that he blasts off into the sky like Team Rocket. The lady is restored to adulthood as well and searches for Smolnareff, but only finds one of his earrings in her house. She gets dressed and looks for him outside and runs to adult Polnareff. Polnareff denies knowing her, but she recognizes him by his hair and earring. Polnareff walks away, and she decides maybe it was a dream after all. Polnareff is sad to leave her behind, but knows it's for the best. Polnareff and Jotaro run into Joseph and Avdol, who scold them for running off. Later, they meet up at a cafe, and Joseph uses Hermit Purple to smash a camera to find Dio's location. They see a building in the Polaroid and realize their search is about to come to an end. And yeah, I think they decide then that the building's in Cairo. But yeah, I think that's the end of the episode.
Well, fine. It was kind of like a tan stone building with a tower.
Yeah.
Gramps says it's their final destination, and then a preview shows the group playing cards with a stand user and Gramps pledging to bet his soul.
This is a slightly less awkward watch than the episode before. However, Polnareff is still running around pretty much in the nude, and we still have to see him naked, and that is very unpleasant and uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm not sure this specific episode how much, if it was shown, but I don't need to see naked little boy cartoon penis at all.
No.
I guess the whole idea is kind of creepy, and then like turning the lady into like a fetus, basically. Kind of scary, creepy.
Yeah. This is so creepy and weird. I feel like this is like some sort of like weird fetish of his where he gets to just like beat up little kids and babies.
Yeah, just kind of, yeah, because he's like, he could just making them like 3-year-olds just kind of neutralizes them anyway, but then it's like he continues to kind of like psychologically torture them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that part's kind of unnecessary.
So gross. I'm like, we get it. This guy's a creep. He wears bells in his hair. Polnareff once again having a terrible time in the bathroom.
So yeah.
I told a second ago that I'm like, wait a minute. He's just gonna have to learn to pee outside or something. Nothing peed in there. But he's gonna have a bathroom phobia is all I'm saying.
Or have like a bathroom that's in a safe room or something. Like it's got all this security.
Yeah, he's gonna have to like only use the bathroom with like the door open. And everyone else is gonna be like, what the hell? And he's gonna be like, well, I keep getting attacked with a toilet, damn it.
Well, nobody wants to see it, damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think if he has to room with Jotaro, that Jotaro's gonna put up with that.
So it's like he kind of was, I think, romantically attracted to that lady, and then I guess I'm not completely understanding why he didn't just like talk to her, because I don't think she totally realized it was him.
Mm-mm.
But then they are on this whole quest to like take out Dio, so I mean maybe he can circle back around and try to find her, but then how many ladies have we talked about him circle back rounding and trying to find? So I don't know.
Yeah,
this is not the time, dude.
Yeah, he's like every time he meets a woman, he's like, "Hello, nurse," and then it's like, "My dude, you've met women before."
Yeah, there'll be other ladies.
I do think it was fun and ironic, though, that Alessi did get his ass beat by a child after he keeps terrorizing them so much. That part was very satisfying.
Okay, so Darby the Gambler, Part 1. The JoJo crew have made it to Cairo and are looking for the building that Gramps made pictures of with his stand. They ask around at different cafes when they meet a gambler who says he knows where it is. Gramps tries to pay for the information, but he only wants to gamble. This pisses Polnareff off, and he agrees to a bet about a cat choosing between 2 pieces of dried fish. Jotaro and Avdol begin to suspect the gambler to be an enemy stand user, which the dude had like silver sideburns or something going on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I thought they were sideburns, but I think the wiki said they're like face tattoos, and I'm like, okay, you say so. This looked like some sideburns to me. Granted, they kind of like stuck out a little bit along his cheekbones, but I just thought he had big ass sideburns.
Like, he's part
Rubbit.
Yeah, like he had some rabbit parts.
Yeah, it kind of made him look like he could be like a human version of like a Transformers character or something.
He wants Polnareff's soul instead of money. And I don't know, I think Polnareff just doesn't believe what's happening,
Yeah.
so he just goes along with it.
Yeah, he's like, sure, Jan, you can have my soul.
I mean, I'm thinking they could just moved on and found someone else who knew about the building. Or whatever.
Probably, yeah.
So the cat grabs both pieces of fish, and the gambler says he will collect Polnareff's soul, and explains that's what his stand does. His stand pulls out Polnareff's soul, and then pulls and stretches it, and claps, making it into a gambling chip, or like a poker chip, and like just kind of like the face, like their face with their eyes closed is shown through the chip, on the face of the chip.
Yeah.
The Joestar group freaks out as the gambler introduces himself as Darby. He has the Osiris stand. Avdol wants to throttle him, but he says if they kill him, Polnareff will be lost forever. He shows them a book that holds all the chips of the souls he has collected. Polnareff's body has no pulse and appears dead. Gramps grabs a glass and fills it to overflowing and asks Barbie about surface tension. So Gramps keeps calling him by the wrong name, possibly to kind of get Darby's goat. Either that or Gramps just can't remember. I feel like either thing could be true.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't care enough to remember.
Yeah. Or he didn't hear correctly when he said Darby.
Yeah, he is like probably like 67 or 69 years old at this point, so.
Gramps wants to play a game where they take turns dropping coins into the glass until one of them spills the liquid. Gramps agrees to bet his soul. Avdol is outraged, and Gramps tells Jotaro to watch for funny business. Darby inspects the glass and coins. Darby assures he will return Polnareff's soul if he loses. He wants to start off with dropping in 5 coins at once. He drops them in, but the surface tension doesn't break. Gramps wants to just drop in 1 coin, but Jotaro spots him squeezing in more liquid from a cotton ball somehow.
Yeah, I was like, where'd he get this liquid from? Is it just like his sweat?
Maybe he poured the liquid into the glass, so maybe from the original bottle. I don't know.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And then, Gramps then calls Darby Obi. Darby eats chocolate and moves to another part of the table, allowing the sun to hit the glass. He drops the coin, and the liquid still does not spill over, much to Gramps' chagrin. Jotaro says he was watching with Star Platinum and didn't detect any deception from Darby. Gramps freaked out so much because he knew he lost that Darby's stand was easily able to remove Gramps' soul. Avdol grabs Darby and reminds him if he dies, they will never get the souls back. Jotaro grabs the glass and finds chocolate at the bottom, which Darby put there. When the chocolate melted, it allowed the liquid to settle and Darby to add another coin. Jotaro says he will play poker with Darby. And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, and Avdol's like kind of freaking out because like he managed to outsmart Joseph, who's basically like on some Bugs Bunny level of trickery. And so he's like, what the fuck, Jotaro, don't do that. Jotaro's like, nah, I got this.
I'm not sure that he could have they're going to go back and forth, that he could have predicted who's the one would have made it run over, though.
Yeah.
I feel like that was not necessarily a done deal.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. They're just kind of like betting their souls like way too easily.
Yes. Stupid games.
Stupid men. In their egos.
I think Avdol would have been smart enough to like book it out of there without like doing all that, but the other 3, no, clearly not.
Yeah, I'm thinking Kakyoin Yeah, maybe if he was the first one, like Polnareff was, and they didn't realize he was literally gonna take the soul. Like,
yeah.
I kind of almost forgive Polnareff, but like the other ones, I'm like, you saw what he did to them.
Yeah. I do think it would have been funny to see if it escalated to where he had to bet with Iggy.
Yeah, they did. Well, we're not to that part yet. They should have done that first. But anyway.
Iggy has to bet with the cat. Actually, Iggy would probably cheat and get the fish before the cat.
Yeah, it might have been better he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Or Iggy would have like bumped the table and made the water, the whatever it was, the whiskey or whatever, spill over.
Yeah.
I kind of knew when he was like inspecting the cup and the coins, it just looked weird and like I kind of figured he was like doing something.
Yeah.
Like part with the his stand grabbing the souls out and stuff, that's like kind of, I know I said creepy earlier with Alessi, but that was kind of creepy too.
Yeah, he had this like weird, like almost like suction cup fingers or something, or like they had holes in his fingers to like suck up the soul with.
Yeah.
I was like, interesting. A little disturbing, but interesting design.
We might have talked about a couple of the people that he took souls from.
Yeah, he mentioned some dude named Stephen Moore, which I'm sure is a musical reference, but I didn't look that up.
I mean, it had many pages in it. I mean, that part was like also like it just kind of shows like that he's good at it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just didn't think it was necessary to like go over who they were or whatever.
Yeah, I think he was trying to like intimidate them and like psych them out a little bit, but
then he could have
or use reverse psychology,
scared them off or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not the greatest.
Yeah. I thought his stand being Osiris and then having the soul kind of sucking ability like kind of work together because like among other things Osiris is like the god of the afterlife and stuff, so I was like that is actually thematically appropriate. Osiris is also the god of fertility, agriculture, the dead, I guess in general dead people, resurrection, life, and vegetation. So he's kind of got a whole lot going on there, but I felt like the soul thing was appropriate.
Yeah.
He was also the first mummy.
That would have been cool if the group went into the pyramids or something.
Oh, if they had to gamble with him in the pyramids, that would have been so cool.
Well, I just mean...
Oh, yeah, like if they visited.
In Egypt.
Yeah.
There could be, like, booby traps or something. I have to get through to get to...
Yeah.
Dio or something.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about Dio and, like, why some people like him, and maybe it's just because some of these characters are insufferable.
Yeah.
It's like...
They're like, Dio he tolerates us, finally.
No, I mean, like, maybe people don't like the Joestar group.
Oh! I thought you meant
so they're like, yeah, Dio, kick their asses.
Yeah.
Because they're just not super likable.
Yeah, I don't really see having beef with Polnareff and Jotaro, and probably Joseph a little bit. I don't really think Abdul or Cockywing are really like dicks or anything. Yeah. Probably the worst thing Cockywing has done is when he fed poop to the baby, but that's because the baby like was gaslighting everyone. Yeah, it's like, and trying to do a big murder.
Yeah, baby's creepy.
Yeah. What if there was a creepy baby? And it also, for some reason, it had vampire teeth, even though it's not a vampire canonically.
And they talk about going back and killing baby Hitler. Like,
yeah.
If he's already evil at like 6 months old.
Yeah. I would go back in time and kill baby Hitler.
Or like stop his parents from meeting or something. Some Back to the Future shit.
Yeah, that would work too, and a little less murdery.
He starts disappearing from the photos.
Yeah. Mein Gott, I'm disappearing from the photograph. I can't do a good German accent.
I'm scared. Because I don't really have anything else to say. And sorry, I'm not really chatty about these episodes. But
I do have trivia about who Darby is named after.
Terrence Trent D'Arby?
Yes.
That might be the wrong song.
So yeah, his name originally is I think he's just Daniel Darby, but he's named for Terrence Trent D'Arby, and I guess Terrence Trent D'Arby at some point changed his name to Sonata Francesco Maitreya because it says he was born Terrence Trent Howe.
Okay.
But he went to Derby, and then I'm not sure where the rest of the name came from, but yeah.
I mean, I feel like beyond the one song, I don't really know what happened to Terrence Trent D'Arby.
I guess I think the Wikipedia said he started going by the Maitreya. I might be butchering that pronunciation, I apologize. Like around like 2001, so like the last 24 years.
It looks like he's still alive. He's like 63 years old.
Yeah.
But that's like him, like in the 90s or whatever.
Yeah.
Just had the one song, like Wishing Well. He's a tall man. Not super tall, but he looks like he would be short.
Yeah, he does look like he would have like short king energy.
Is that him with Gwen Stefani? Okay.
So I guess that's just my trivia for that. And then next time we will be talking about Darby the Gambler Part 2, and then Whole Horse and Mondada Part 1. So yeah, I feel like those are both fairly fun watches. Nothing really that creepy happens to a child. So
well, except a child is being used though, right?
Yeah.
They're using a child stand user.
Yeah, that part is not so great, but we don't see him in the nude or something.
I feel like he's super diabolical. It's kind of like
he's just like a little guy.
It's like if he kind of wants to be with his. Not that has to do with that particular episode, but like previously, like he just wanted to do shit with his older brother. So sometimes little kids can kind of get up to more mature stuff because they're following their older sibling.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more like that.
Yeah.
Not that he's really like, I want to kill people.
Yeah, he's not evil like the baby. He's just like, he's probably like 10 or something. I think he could turn things around. The baby, no way. For him, yes.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so those are going to be the episodes we're going to talk about. Just again, a reminder to leave us a comment or a review, depending on what platform you're listening to this on. And, subscribe, leave us a like or a follow, also depending on what platform you're listening to this on.
Push all those buttons for us, and don't forget about our other podcast, What We Pod in the Shadows.
Yeah. So until next time, I'll be the roundabout. Goodbye.
Goodbye.